First time I was going to be published in Spain, because it is from Spain. And secondly, it's the first time that I had somebody ask me to write something. So I say that I cannot say no. What the hell I'm going to do, because I don't dream. So it's the first time that I used that. No? So the story is about a little bird that cannot see very well. But you know that normally blind people are they develop other senses, so he developed his voice. No? So nobody wanted to play with him because, of course, he was a little bit slower than the others. No, he was hitting himself, and it was not funny to play with him. But then the little birds decided to play in a forbidden place, and the lynx come. So what the little bird made, first of all, he smelled the lynx before the others. So he hid. He tried to say to the others that they didn't want to listen to him because he's stupid, he cannot see. And then he hid and he imitated the voice of the bear. So the lynx decided to leave because fighting for 4 tiny, slim birds doesn't work to fight with the bear, so he prefer to leave. So they realized that, okay, so he cannot see, but he can do other things that we can't. You know? So that was the first one. And of course, in this one, I think that you have realized the idea is the racial differences. You know? So I use it when I need it, and it always works. No, you have an idea, and I told you that I used to make these workshops, you know, for using this the matrix of Vladimir Prof. I always finish my workshops telling one story. It's the story of the cow poo. Okay, and you are going to see that all the elements of the fairy tale are in the story of the cow poo. So this is a little cow poo. It's not my story. It's a story that somebody who teach me the Propian system has created. You know? So this is the story of a little cow poo that was born, no? And she was very happy, no? And then in a moment she began to think, no, but what's my purpose in life? Where do I come? Where do I go? Who I am? Who is my mother? No? So in a moment, these big flies that love to put the eggs on cows fall in love with her, and the cow say that, but I have this problem. Say, but I know who's your mother. Your mother is a cow. You are cow poo. Your mother is a cow. So she was very happy, and she said that I want to put my eggs in you because I love you. Say that I understand, I love you too, but you know what? I want to go in search of my mother because I want to know what's my purpose on life. So unfortunately, the flies say, I cannot go with you because, you know, cows have a big tail that kills flies, and no, it's an impossible law. So the cows who began to go, no, and there's very big, very long the story, but for example, they are the helpers, because there are always helpers in this quest. No, for example, in a moment, some flies, some ants tell her how is a cow, a big animal with long legs, long tail, and spots. Another animal tell her that you can find a cow in the farm. So finally, she arrived at the farm, and she sees a big animal with long tail, moving the tail. She remembers the fly, and spots, and she said, "Mama!" And the animal began to say, "Wow, wow, 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 wow," and try to eat her. So she escapes, and then she found another animal, bigger, with a longer tail, with longer legs, with bigger spots. But now she's afraid. So she said, that, sorry, Mom, I don't know if you, just, I ask you, just ask you, are you a cow? And the cow said, yes, I'm a cow. And I say, she said, no, Mama. And the cow said, no, I'm not your mother. My babies are the deers. You are just a piece of shit. I cannot be your mother. So the poor cow poo, after all his, all his experience, she finally finds the mother, and the mother say, you are just a piece of shit. So she decided to lie down on the floor and wait until the sun is going to dry her. And then when she's drying, she feels crack, 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 and 2 little mushrooms came out. No? So the mushroom says, good morning, Mom. And the cow says, no, I'm sorry, you made a mistake. I cannot be your mother. I'm nothing. I'm just a piece of shit. And the mushroom says, no, it's not true. It's because of you that all the flowers and all the plants are growing here. So finally, the little cow poo died, knowing what has her purpose on life. And he always finished, and when I finish the story, I always feel my skin like that, because this guy, he's a French guy, he always finishes the story saying that he has created this story to show, first of all, that if you can create a wonderful fairy tale with a happy end and everything, and all the elements, love story, a quest, the helpers, what's the purpose of life, etc. So all the elements of the Propian matrix with a cow poo, you can write about everything. But especially, he said that he has created a story to show that not even a cow is a piece of shit. So, and I always finish with that because I said, I believe that. If he could create a story that is beautiful, the first time I heard him telling that story, I began to cry. And even now, as I said, every time I tell the story, I feel my skin like that, because the message is very powerful. So if you can create if he can create a wonderful story, and the hero is a cow too, please, everybody using the Propian matrix can make a fairy tale. Okay? You don't need to be a writer. I'm not saying that you're going to write it perfectly, but you can take whatever you want, a chair, etc. No? Okay, this is a chair. What the chair wants? Who can be the enemy? Who can help her? No? You can create a story about everything. So it's just to find these elements. No? The hero, so if this is the hero, what the hero wants? What can he might want? Who can be the opponent of that? No? Who can help him? No? And you can create the rest. You can make the same mini matrix again and again and again, because sometimes it's like that, in the fairy tales, that first you have to find one thing, and then you have to find another thing, and then, so it's at this stage that are some kind of quest that you go from one place to another, to another, to another. It's the same basic structure, repeated again and again and again. The happy end or not is up to you. But I think that when you write for children, it's always good, the happy end. Not because you are trying to lie to children, but because the idea is to learn. No? I remember that once, for this second book, in one story, they told me that I was putting too much love in that, and that it was not true. And I said that yes, but it's for children, and it's a fantasy. So life is bad enough to give them, it's not, for me, it's not lying, it's to give them hope. No? That yes, sometimes things are not going to end well, but sometimes, yes, they can end well also. No? So, for the happy ending for adults, we don't need to put the happy ending we don't want. No, but I think that whatever I need to write for now, I use that for everything, even for adults, whatever. No? Class fiction, whatever. This structure is very old, very traditional, but it works. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We got a different. We were wondering, no, what is going to be the public, children, adults, etc. But we were prepared for everything.
Everybody's in full pilot.
Yes.
Taking our audience.
Thank you very much.
Story then, because when you began to tell the story, it was very fascinating. Your hands and you became so big.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's funny, I was thinking that I was not moving too much. I was trying to not move. So you can imagine how much I move.
I think those